Hey everyone, welcome to the Playback Podcast presented by Car, your weekly podcast featuring America's favorite dancers, hosted by America's favorite road warriors. We are your hosts, Austin, Kristen, and Julie. And Nate's over here. Hi, friend.
Hey.
Where were we at this past weekend?
I was at Redondo Beach Car.
And all three of us were at Ultra Escondido.
We had a lot of different shows. We had Car, Rainbow, and Ultra hitting the stages this past weekend. Julie and I and Nate were all at Ultra, so we're going to popcorn around those. But don't worry, we're going to be covering Mesa, Arizona as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop right into it. I've been waiting to talk about this dancer. Okay, so Act 54, Shake Your Groove thing. This is Savannah Carson from Heart Academy of Dance. So let me preface this with the second this dancer started her routine, I didn't care where she placed. I knew I wanted to talk about her. It was such a cute style, such an innovative costume, storytelling element, but still had all the technique and like jazz funk that you want to see in a routine. Later on in that segment, I was out in the lobby and they were asking me a couple questions. It was their first time at Ultra, and she was convinced in her head that she was not going to win. Even though she was at the top of the leaderboard with another dancer, she in her brain had convinced herself she wasn't going to win. And I said, don't sell yourself short. You never know what can happen. So come the award ceremony, she ends up getting first overall. And I went up to her. We have a quick little interview. And I was basically just like, don't ever count yourself out. Does not matter if you're in the ultra competitive, competitive plus, competitive level. If you're at a competition, if you're at a convention, don't ever count yourself out. You never know what those judges are looking for. You never know what other dancers are bringing to the stage. So I wanted to shout out Savannah Carson at Savvy Shay on Instagram, because she had just that special something about her, and I just hated seeing her doubt herself. And I was just so happy to see that her hard work paid off and she got that first overall, and she was so happy. Her mom was so happy. So just congratulations, Savannah, and the team over at Heart Academy of Dance. You're doing an amazing job.
This act was actually ran to me and told me that I needed to talk about this performance on Playback this week, and I agree because I watched your video. I wasn't actually down at the table, but our videographer was like, yo, act number 26, Fergalicious, Briella Bowers from Avanti, you must talk about her. And I was like, okay, cool. So I wrote her down, and then obviously I had to watch. She was great. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how old she is, but she was a little baby nugget on the stage and fierce. Like when you talk about fierce, like little girl, like when they're doing those moves and they almost fall over because they're so fierce, this was her. She was everything. She didn't fall, but she was so into the full out of her routine that she crushed it. Obviously, Fergalicious, come on, classic.
Yes.
If I had to pick a Judge's Choice Award for her, I would pick the Sass Attack Award, but solos don't get that. She had really clean choreography for her age. Facial expressions were on point, and I'm super excited to see where she is in about 5 years.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
One of my picks is from Ultra this weekend. It was from Peace, Love, and Dance. It's called Happier Than Ever. It was a duet. I know you're a sucker for a boy-girl duet, and this was definitely, I was watching it in the lobby. We have those like giant flat screens, and I was just standing in front of it. I think what gets me always is when like, no matter how like technical it is or whatever, like when a dancer just has so much passion that you like can tell they just love what they're doing so much, like that gets me more than anything. I love seeing that. And these two had so much chemistry, so much passion between them. And then their partnering was crazy too. She was like on his shoulder and then flipping off of it, and it was wild. I'm not even sure how old they were, but I know they weren't in like the oldest age category.
I think they were 12 to 14.
Yeah, they were like a younger middle teen age, and they were so fabulous. Yeah. It was such a great thing to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Will I cry?
Maybe, yeah. It was very emotional.
I'm going to talk about a dance over from our Mesa, Arizona show. This was Act 4, 23, Rain, and this was performed by Brynn Spears. She received second overall. This is actually one of our new DAC princesses, so I love getting to see them go out on the stage and do their thing. It was a beautiful lyrical routine, and I think, again, I always say when it comes to those younger dancers, you have to have that chest because you're so tiny on that stage, especially if you're sitting in that back row. Obviously, we have amazing cameras and videographers that can really capture you, but remember, you're performing to an entire audience. So this dancer was so good about lifting her chest, being as open, as long as she possibly could with her tiny itty bitty legs, and she just did an incredible job. And I'm so excited to see how she progresses over the next couple years. You can tell she has that training. She's over at Club Dance, so they know how to get those young kids killing it. So I'm just excited to see how she does. Congratulations to Brynn and Club Dance for an amazing weekend over at Car Mesa.
Okay, the next one I wanted to talk about was act number 83, Honey, from Legacy Dance Academy. This was Chang. I saw her from side stage and I was really excited about it, so I had to go and watch the front view of it. She was an intermediate dancer, but I was convinced she was elite when I was watching her from side stage. So I hope that the skills get a little bit more fine-tuned because she could be that elite dancer next season. The musicality was absolutely insane. Her lines, like when she would lift up her leg and then go into a turn, I was like, get it, girl. Her movement quality was just insane, and I loved watching it from the moment she walked on to the moment she walked off. And then obviously I had to watch it from the front view too later, but she was great. So congrats to Chang. She crushed it.
Love that. Okay, my next one. This is from K2 Studios. You guys already know I'm a fan. It was called The Face. Okay, I did not know this little one was 8 and under. It's so crazy. She was in our ultra competitive. Her name is Jessica. Stunning. Her costume too. Like, I don't know. This season, the costumes have just been so beautiful. Everyone looks like custom handmade rhinestone. It's stunning. Beautiful costumes. Every city I've seen so far. But hers was beautiful. It was like this like earthy green. It was really pretty. She had it was very contemporary, lyrical, like classic. But what I loved seeing was like her control. Like for being so young, to be able to control your body and know where everything is being placed. Like her leg would just be like boop, just by her head. And she's just like perfectly lifted, leg is straight, knee is stretched, everything's perfect. And then she took it and she like bended it behind her head. And I was like, period. Absolutely. At one point she did like a triple leg hold turn. And I was like, 8 and under, triple leg hold turn. Yeah.
Like
okay.
how?
That's so cool. Yeah.
She
Again,
could teach us a thing or two.
yeah,
you know?
I could never even do one. I think, like just so crazy for an 8 and under. Just all the qualities you want to see. She had it, and she was 8. So I mean, good luck for everyone, because that's wild. I'm scared.
Yeah, I would be scared too. So good. Okay, I want to talk about a duet over from Norris Performing Arts Center. This was Money to Burn. We love a good tap routine from Norris. They always know how to deliver. My favorite part about this routine is all of their tappers are equally incredible, but I love watching their one kid, Dean Norris. He's in all their routines. You guys know who I'm talking about. And it can be like the longest day of the weekend, and he gets out on stage, and I can't help but smile because he's just having the best time on stage. We actually got to like see them come off, see their live score, and it's really cool to see, especially in that ultra competitive level, how they do from coming off, watching that score, see how they place. It's just a fun, exciting experience for them.
Gotta beat a 278.7. Let's see it. Oh man, this is intense. Let's go!
And they had a great amount of props this weekend too.
Oh my goodness, it was wild. I think I was checking them in backstage at that point, and all of their dances were like extra prop time, and they had to literally lift the wings, roll these giant props in. But those dads, they were on it. I asked one of the girls, I was like, so like you guys have rehearsal? And then they're like, okay, prop dad rehearsal. And she's like, no, literally, like they sit in rehearsal like after us and like rehearse the prop over and over and over because it's that crazy.
That's
like,
how you gotta do it.
It was wild.
They even had that one with the their younger girls, and it was like almost an acro circus.
Yeah,
like,
the moon one with the moon.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they had a ring and they were like
spinning,
Cirque du Soleil on the ring. Like,
didn't you feel in that power performance like the kids, they weren't there for a power performance yet, so they're just up on that thing, and then in the sound, and they're like,
what's happening?
like, wait, I'm on a ring. Hold on.
And then they're going
saw
down
that.
slow. They're like climbing down this huge thing.
Yes.
Okay, the last one I want to talk about is Act 425, Dior from Academy of Dance Westlake. It was an elite, I believe it was a large group. I was emceeing at the time, and I was excited about it because Academy of Dance Westlake was bringing it all weekend, and they walked out on stage. I knew it was going to be great. It was a hip hop performance. Groups. I feel like hip hop groups, sometimes the cleanliness is a little bit shaky, but you could tell that they've been rehearsing for a really long time to get on stage and perform this. It's still early in the season too. So I feel like groups, we didn't have that many group performances at our show this weekend, and they brought it. It was such a good routine. I was sitting there and I was like, dang, Julie would be really proud right now. Like, she would feel seen and represented. And I just wish that I could dance with them on stage and look as cool as they did, because the musicality, the timing, the accentuation of each like formation, when they would do the ripple and one dancer would be doing something totally different and they would all duck down and then she does her thing. It was so cool. They ended up winning the IDA nomination for best hip hop routine, and the energy that they brought on stage when they won was incredible. And I was excited for them. When I was announcing it, I was like, yes, you guys did it. You know, it was cool. So props to Academy of Dance Westlake and that hip hop routine Dior, because it was really cool.
Nice.
Big fan.
I love when they just have good energy all around, like on stage, backstage. Like, they're just pumped. They're excited to be there.
They were cool, like
Yeah.
from their lyrical ballet performances to contemporary
hip-hop,
jazz,
yeah.
and then hip hop. I was like, whoa,
Period.
you guys are bringing it all today. It was
Yeah.
great. They were wonderful.
We love versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of versatility,
Nice. It was so nice. We have to ruin it. Like, we have to shout it out.
I want to talk about Sweet Dreams. This season, it's going to be called the Ladder Dance. It's
The
kind
ladder
of like
dance.
this season's couch dance from Signature.
Oh, I'm excited.
Absolutely insane. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Are you saving it, or
Absolutely
you
insane.
just haven't watched it yet?
No,
No,
it was,
Ryan
they didn't
sent
do
us-
groups last week.
We didn't have any
No, but-
signature groups
Oh,
last
but like
week.
seen
But
it
Ryan
on
posted
Ultra.
a part of it.
I saw the part of it,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
but have I experienced it?
Oh,
It's an it's an
It is.
experience when you're there. Okay.
Okay.
I saw this from side stage, and I don't know if you guys know the moment I'm talking about, but when the beat builds and then they grab Annie and she does that, I was standing side stage, so I saw her head just go towards me, and I was like, I loved it. I watched this from side stage, and it was one of those ones I had to go back and watch the video from the
Yes.
front view, because I was like, okay, I need to experience this from the front too. But oh my goodness, their legs, wild, their feet, technique, everything. And then they have this whole group section, and you could hear them on stage like like the breath, and I was just like obsessed,
Yeah.
dying. So good. And then they got a power performance after
course.
too, which was everything. And Alex was like, I've been waiting for you guys to take risks, because you know all of them are in so many dances, and like they're fabulous no matter what, but this dance, yeah, they just took so many risks. Literally at one point, Annie's like letting go from the ladder and everyone's just holding her. One girl does a scorpion through the ladder. So she
What?
like, her hand is through the ladder and she's grabbing her leg behind it. So she's not even holding on to the ladder anymore. Her arms are just through it, holding her scorpion.
Nate,
Like,
please tell me you took a video of this.
yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh,
he has a
okay.
gorgeous
I
front
don't
stage
haven't
view.
watched it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to watch right after
It's
this.
insane.
Even the ushers that like work at the venue that we don't employ, they're just people that work at the venue. We're all talking about that. Like the one guy came up after and was fangirling over it. So that just goes to show, like, it was a piece to see for
Yeah.
sure. We had Henry place second overall and receive a power performance for Act 63, This Is Me. And Enery got that power performance and she was working towards it. And just seeing, like, I know Nate can speak on this, seeing her evolve over this protege program. She's auditioned multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
it was such a cool, special moment.
And I love how she went to all those conventions to try out for protege, and she was never, because I would for sure be like, oh, hi, my sister's Annie. Like, I would for sure be telling all the teachers that.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I would do. And she's just like, I'm going to do this my way. You know what I mean? Like, and then for her to, she was like working so hard. And then she had a little growth spurt during convention season where literally I was, Val, their mom, was filming something like during a convention class. And I was like, Annie's not in this room. So I literally looked to the crowd. I'm like, which kid is she filming? Walked behind her, looked at her phone, and I was like, wait, that's Enery? I was like, oh my God, she looks way different from a month ago.
Yeah.
And she got longer and like, I don't know. It's
Her
like she
feet,
grew into her body.
yes.
Like, yeah. And
It just clicked. And you could tell on that stage, it was perfection.
Oh my God.
She did not wobble. She did not, like, every single moment she took to have that moment on stage. And you could tell she felt so empowered and confident. Literally, I was crying. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And like, but this is why we do what we do. This is why we love like pouring into your kids and getting to see them excel over the seasons, because their hard work is paying off, and we're like the ones that get to have a front row seat to it. And it's just such a special experience, such a special bond. So I just wanted to congratulate Enery. You had an amazing weekend, and I just know that sky's the limit for you. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, she's great. She did a great job. Watching the performance, it kind of reminds me, you know those videos when like a ball is going on a track and then it's like a trick shot of a ball and you're like, oh my God, is it going to really go all the way? Like halfway through her dance, I'm like, oh my God. Like, if she keeps this clean, she could win. Like, and I'm like watching. And then when it ended, I was like, she did it all the way through.
Yeah.
And then when she got the power performance, like her face was like, oh my God, that was like the best moment of my whole weekend, even though, mind you, like Annie goes, you know, later or whatever, and she's Annie, you know, we don't want to make every episode about Annie. So back to Henry, like it was amazing.
Yeah.
Dang. Proud of her.
It was the best moment.
Where do we even go from here?
We're just so inspired.
Throw up right here the clip of her mom celebrating.
So good.
She's like, when the power performance went off, I was like, I wanted to see, and I turned, and you see Val, and she jumps up out of her chair from the audience. She's like, yes, yes. And like, it was so cool. It was so cool. I love watching parents when their kids win.
It's like when Boston went for her 4th time trying to get Protege, and she finally got it. And her mom, like, it took him a second to be like, oh my God, wait, she said her name, and then bounced up crying. Like, those moments, I live for them.
It's tight.
Yeah. Makes those 6 a.m. call times like so worth it.
Yes.
As always, make sure to comment on all of our videos if there's specific acts that we missed that we have to see. And make sure you're following Playback Podcast, Car, Ultra, GAC, Rainbow. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
I think that's all of them. Who knows? But as always, we are so excited to see you guys on the road. Thanks so much. Bye.